I'm doing a very rare stream where I'm not playing any stream starting soon music. I'm just jumping straight into the stream. And like I said, that's rare for me. Usually I I just hop straight into it. Usually I should say I don't hop straight into it. Usually I play a stream starting soon screen. I have music going and I give myself some time to get things ready. For example, before we start playing, I need to quickly tweet that I'm live, probably post on my Discord server the fact that I'm live, and I try to get myself, mentally hyped up. But the stream has already been so delayed, not only tonight, but technically today in general. It's not only been delayed this evening, but it's been delayed this week that I figured, fuck it, we just need to go live. Like, we're not doing a stream starting soon screen. We're not gonna make people wait a minute longer than they need to because I've already made people wait long enough. Instead, we're just gonna hop straight into it. I just want to make sure that I am in fact live. This is something I usually check during my stream starting soon screen, but I want to make sure I'm live. Let's double check YouTube first. Go to my YouTube page. Okay, it looks like I'm live on YouTube. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And then let's go check Twitch here in a second. All right. It's not showing me live on Twitch. Let's refresh the page. Maybe that'll fix it. Okay, I am live on Twitch. Oh my gosh, and there's people in the chat already. I was really confused for a second. Okay, yeah, there's already people in the chat. I was so confused. I mean, I would have seen y'all in the chat if I just looked over at the stream chat on my stream software, but because I had Twitch open, I started to get nervous. I started to get worried. I opened my own Twitch page and nothing was happening. Okay, cool. I know, we're just jumping straight into it. You'll never guess where I am. I actually just got off work. Honestly, kind of crazy. I thought if I really had to guess, I would have said you were starting the beginning of a 16-hour shift. Oh, nice. You should just stop going to work. Exactly. You really should. It's funny you say that because I just worked the past 5 days straight, 10-hour shifts every day, including some overtime sprinkled in. So, for example, like one day I stayed a little late. So I got some overtime, which is always nice. Love some extra money. Love that time and a half. But today was my first day off. Um, and therefore, I came home from work yesterday with the plan, the intention to go live after work. Instead, my body, my brain, and just my soul went into hibernation mode, and I slept for like 16 hours straight. So I came home from work, and I think it's just because subconsciously I knew that I didn't have to work today. I didn't have to work the next day, that my mind just allowed myself to sleep for 16 hours straight. And thankfully, my wife also allowed me to sleep for 16 hours. She didn't wake me up. It was very nice of her to do that. She also took care of the dog. She's a sweetheart for that. But yeah, I was supposed to stream last night. I thought I was just going to take a short little nap after work, wake up, and stream in the evening. Instead, I woke up today and we're streaming this evening, a whole full day later. So that's a bit awkward. Also, before we jump into the game, I think I'm going to put on some background music because we already did an entire stream grinding out Warframe last stream, and therefore we're going to do an entire stream again today, grinding out pretty much the same missions. And it's just going to cause the game to get a little repetitive and therefore the audio in the game to be a little redundant. And considering we listened to the same audio last stream, we listened to the same missions and we played the same fissures over and over and over again, I figured for today we'd spice it up and just listen to music instead of the game because I don't really feel like listening to the same game sounds for 2 hours straight while we're grinding. So I have a playlist of the entire soundtrack for Final Fantasy X queued up. I don't know if this will last the entire live stream. It's honestly kind of surprisingly a bit of a short playlist, but that's fine. We'll just listen to the playlist from Final Fantasy X. I forgot. Oh my god, this game starts off with a heartbreaking song. Just immediately stabs you right in the chest, tears at the heartstrings. That's fine. We'll put the playlist on shuffle so we don't have to listen to the entire game soundtrack in order. Anyways, that's crazy. Yeah, we're back. We're back. And we are going to get into things here. Like I just kind of alluded to and hinted at, we're doing more fissures today. Let's see if we actually have any good fissures to do today. Not a great start. And exterminate. There is a capture Neo fissure. So we could do exterminate for the Lith fissure, but the capture Neo fissure is probably going to be the quickest one. Let's jump into a public lobby before I do this. God dang it. Public lobby, please. Capture fissure. And let's get right into it. Alright. Cool, cool. I wish I could get some overtime. You know, I'm so sorry to hear that, brother. I mean, hey. August is just a month away. You'll be guaranteed overtime come end of summer season when you lose all your employees. That's the only time I remember being guaranteed overtime. But other than that, yeah, you might be cooked. Because that was one of my... I mean, there was a laundry list of reasons I stopped working there. There was a laundry list of reasons I ultimately found other employment. But one of the ones was the lack of overtime. And now I work somewhere where it's not given out like candy. At least not anymore, because we have like good staffing now. But like back before we, you know, hired on new waves of people, like back when I first started, our staffing was lower. Dude, I was getting overtime whenever I wanted. And funnily enough, I couldn't even accept overtime as much back then because I lived farther away from work. It's almost kind of a bummer. Now that I live closer to work, I can't get as much overtime. But I can still, you know, obviously pick up overtime here and there. I can't complain. I should complain. Like, I got 10 hours of OT this paycheck, which was not bad. And the one thing I love doing, I think we've talked about this before on stream, so apologies if this is a redundant topic. At my job, you can choose to either have your overtime paid out, so I can either get those 10 hours of OT I worked this past paycheck paid as 10 hours of time and a half, or I can turn it into PTO. So I can be paid 10 hours of time and a half, or I can get 15 hours of PTO, because 10 hours of time and a half is 15 hours. And I usually turn it into PTO because I love taking off work to do anything besides work. Like, the last thing I want to do with my life is work. You know? I'd rather be at home playing video games, or hanging out with my wife, or spending time with my dog. So, yeah, I usually just decide to get PTO. Oh my god, this is a terrible start to the night. all of these items suck. Just 15 ducats each. Dude, that was the one thing I complained about in the last live stream. We had terrible luck. Just the cheapest, least profitable rewards possible. And we made such little money. I'm hoping we can have a bit better luck tonight. W wife? Yeah. We get some dubs in the chat for the wife. Speaking of ducats and how little profit we made in the form of ducats, I should actually go to Barrow's Relay and let's just do some quick math as to how much money we need to make and also like how much money I want to spend, because those might be two different numbers. Like there's a bare minimum of how much I need versus how much I want. Like if I want to splurge, you know? Yeah, I feel so bad for you though, best friend. You are always working, never not working. But yeah, because I worked 5 10-hour shifts the last 5 days, plus some overtime sprinkled in throughout those shifts, I think my body was just exhausted. Because like I said, I came home yesterday and no lie, no exaggeration, slept for 16 hours straight and basically slept through the live stream we were supposed to do yesterday. So instead we're doing it right now. Yay. I'm about to set up my new PC. Yay, hey, that's exciting. So, did everything come in the mail finally? Oh, shoot. God dang it. I meant to get a sticky note, and I accidentally got it stuck on my whiteboard. Now it's all crumpled up. Let me just get a new sticky note. God dang it. Alright, so we're going to do some quick math on a sticky note here of how much money we need minimum versus how much I want to earn, if possible, for like extra cosmetics and fun items, you know? I don't understand how people can sleep for that long. I genuinely think it's just like a hibernation type of remission that my body goes into, because when I work like that much over that short little time, so like 5 days, and it's like a 10-hour shift, 14-hour shift, 10-hour shift, 16-hour shift, 10-hour shift, back to back to back, plus I'm getting little sleep in between there because I don't just come home and go straight to bed. I come home and cook dinner, and I'm still like in the midst of owning my first house. Like we've only been here for a short few weeks, so like we're still painting, we're still unpacking, we're still trying to do all of these first home buyer tasks, like set up new curtains and random shit like that. So like I come home and I don't go straight to sleep. I come home and I have tasks and chores and things to do. And then I was also trying to live stream on top of all that. So I was getting at max like 5 hours of sleep in between each 10 to 16 hour shift. At minimum, there were some nights I was getting like 2 hours of sleep. So I think it genuinely was just like my body catching up on sleep and just straight up going into hibernation mode. I don't know how else to explain it. It's probably not healthy. It's definitely not good for you. But it's something that happens a concerning number of times. Like once a month, I probably do that. Yeah, no good. Yeah, hype to the new PC. Okay. Give me one moment here, boys. We're going to write down some numbers, and then I'll catch up on the chat. I know I'm already behind like 3 chat messages, but I should probably continue with my little math experiment here. So, thankfully, a lot of the weapons available to us, you'll see we already own. They already have a check mark next to them. The Gatva Prime, though, we don't own. So let's write that down, as well as How expensive it is? The answer, very expensive. Jotva Prime. Oh my gosh, I can't type. Type? Write? Same thing. I'm writing in pencil, but I called it typing. That's how fucking brain dead I am. 675 ducats is quite a lot. That's unlucky. Prisma Grinlock I don't own, but I have owned it in the past, and I've already fully leveled it up, so I technically don't need to own it again. I also don't really care about owning it again. So, like, there's an argument to be made that I should own it, because I am a bit of a completionist at heart, and I want to own every weapon. But there's two reasons I don't want to waste the money to buy this again. Technically three. One of the reasons is I've already owned it before. I've already leveled it all the way up before. So why do that again? It's a waste of my time. Reason number two, if I already did that once and I sold the weapon out of my inventory, that probably means the weapon was trash and there was a reason I got rid of it. And reason number three, I don't think the Prisma Grinlock is something I would ever use, because I've used the regular Grinlock. Like, that sniper was high-key trash. There are far better snipers that I like way more than the Grinlock. So I don't feel like buying it again. It'd be a waste of my money. However, the Prisma Lens we do not own and have never owned before, so we do need to buy that weapon just for the simple fact that we need to level it up. We need to add it to our what's it called? Arsenal. Prisma Lens. And that is 575 ducats. Wow. Some of these weapons are not going to be cheap. Prisma Obex I've also owned before, but I do not have it in my inventory now. But that's okay, because I leveled it all the way up. I don't know why I got rid of that weapon. Again, we kind of talked about this last stream. There's a lot of weapons I used to own in the past, but I got rid of. Where did my wedding go? I just dropped my wedding. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna get divorced mid-live stream. There's a lot of weapons we learned about in the last live stream that I apparently owned, fully leveled up years ago. And then I just sold them, deleted them from my inventory. And I don't know why. My running theory for this one is also that it just sucked and I didn't like it. That's why I got rid of it, so whatever, not gonna cry about it. We also don't have the Zylock. However, the reason we don't have the Zylock is different. I know why we don't have the Zylock. It's because the Zylock gets upgraded into another weapon. So I leveled up the Zylock all the way to Mastery rank, and then I crafted it into another weapon, a better weapon. So I don't need the Zylock because I have the upgraded form of the Zylock. So those are the two weapons we need. Technically, that's all we need then. I mean, you can make an argument for mods. We could make an argument for mods. Let's go through mods here and see if there's anything we need. But as far as like appearance goes, we don't need cosmetics. Cosmetics are not a need. And we also don't need anything in miscellaneous, because these are also kind of more leaning towards the cosmetic genre. We won't need anything in miscellaneous. These are going to be more wants. But mods, I might need some of these, so we'll scroll through these in a second. Let me catch up on the chat, though. I don't know about guaranteed, but yeah, I guess. Wait, so if I'm correctly remembering, what? If I'm correctly, if I'm remembering what we were talking about when you sent that chat message, are you trying to imply that you wouldn't even get overtime at the end of August, like end of summer season? I thought it was like a guarantee you get overtime at the end of dailies, but maybe not. If that's not guaranteed, that would suck ass. Last year they only gave us a week, if I remember correctly. Oh, brother, that would piss me off. I mean, that's like when I left, so I don't think I can speak on that. Someone has bestowed a resource drop chance blessing upon me. Press F to thank. I don't think I thanked it fast enough. My hand was not on the keyboard. It was looking at the chat. My hand wasn't on the keyboard. My hand was on the chat. Take that however you want. Platonically. Friendly. Sensually. That's crazy. Because, yeah, that is about the time I left last year. Huh. Wow. Interesting. Okay, well that actually sucks, and I'm so sorry, my brother. For your sake, I hope you get some OT, because there's just something, I don't know, for me, that's so gratifying about, like, that time and a half money. It adds up so quickly, and I hate to, like, sound like some, you know, corporate shill or like some wage slop enjoyer. Like, the last thing I ever want to do is come across as someone who loves work. Because again, as I was just saying earlier in the stream, if I could do anything with my life, it's never work again. Like, there's a reason I bank all of my overtime, and instead of getting it paid out, I turn it into OT. And it's because I don't want to work. I just want... Sorry, I worded that incorrectly. There's a reason I don't get my OT paid out. I get it turned into PTO. My apologies. And it's because I want as much PTO as possible, so I can take off work as much as possible. I don't like working. Fuck work. So again, I don't want to come across as a shill or like a wage slave. Fuck work. And fuck the trap that we've almost been stuck in. This syphilis... I can't... I'm gonna give myself 10 seconds to restart that sentence, because I almost said syphilis. We all have syphilis. Honestly, it's a requirement for being in this chat. You have to have syphilis. No, fuck this Sisyphus cycle that, like, the modern job landscape, as well as just, like, our economy has left us in, where, like, you have to work every second of your life if you even want to barely scrape by. Very true. We all yeah, we all do. It's one of the rules when you join this first stream. You know how, like, when you join some streamers' chats, they have those little rules where it's like, be respectful, no racism, respect the mods. When you join my stream, there's just one rule before you can talk in the chat, and it's have syphilis. Sorry. Yeah, like, again, I will never be someone who supports working, or jobs. If I had it my way, we would all be unemployed and happy and be able to live off of that lifestyle. But I do love seeing that time and a half on my paycheck, because, like I said, I can then turn that time and a half into PTO. Like, the 10 hours of overtime I worked this past week is now 15 hours of PTO. That's 15 hours I don't have to fucking work in the future. 15 hours I could potentially be streaming in the future. That's what I love to see. So, anyways, I'll catch up on a couple more chat messages, and then we'll scroll through these mods. See if there's any mods we want to purchase. I've been listening to the soundtrack for Silent Hill. That is a good soundtrack. Also, I don't know if I said this or not, but best of luck setting up the PC. You gotta send pictures of when your PC is fully set up. Also, I'm glad that work will hopefully be less stressful. I am genuinely, like, praying for you, wishing the best for you. Because all I ever hear from you or about you is that you're working, and I feel so bad. Okay, let's go through these mods and see if any of these are required. So this is a 1.55 increased damage to murmurs from a pistol. Truthfully, don't care because I never use my pistol. I'm always using my primary firearm or my melee. Alright. Damage to murmurs from a shotgun. Here's the thing. I do love shotguns, but I almost never am attacking murmur enemies because I don't play that section of the game. I haven't really gotten to that section of the game yet. I played it once and it was off stream and I realized, oh fuck, I should be doing this on stream. So I've been low-key saving that quest to play it for the first time on stream. So if these are all about damage to murmurs, we're skipping them. Art gun. Plus 187% toxin. I also don't give a fuck about art gun. If it's art gun related, we can skip it. Because I hate art guns. This one might be the first one I actually care about. Thrown melee. On melee kill, 100% reload speed, plus 100% magazine capacity for 12 seconds on secondary weapon. Never mind, I don't care. So if you kill someone with a thrown melee, it increases the reload speed and magazine capacity for your pistol, which I guess is cool if you're running a build that's like the glaive and a pistol and no primary firearm. But like, I don't run those builds. I don't run a thrown melee pistol build. Alright, we can skip that. Thrown melee. Plus 5-second combo duration on kill with secondary weapon. Alright, we're skipping. God damn it. I'm probably going to skip a lot of these next ones as well, because it seems like they're all increased damage to specific type of enemy, which, like, it is cool if you're grinding a specific type of mission. For example, damage to Corpus, damage to Orkin, damage to Grenier, damage to Infested. Damage to Infested, I could maybe see something we purchase if we have the extra cash. I'll write it down on our list as a question mark. Because we have been grinding plastids a lot on stream. If you've watched any of my Warframe streams, you know I never have plastids. For some reason, it's the one item in this game I never have. I just don't have plastids. And the mission we grind to obtain plastids is against infested enemies. So that might help us get plastids faster and just more safely. But I don't know if I feel like spending 400 ducats for that. We'll put it on the list with a question mark. Primed Bane of Infested. 400. Damage to Corpus. Damage to Orkin. Oh, these are shotguns. So this one's the rifle one, which is fine because I use rifles primarily. But there's also a shotgun version of all this. Damage to Infested shotgun. Yeah. That's fine. Damage to Corpus pistol. Orkin pistol. Grenier pistol. Infested pistol. I don't care. Ability Strength Arcwing. Don't care. If Arcwing has no haters, I'm dead. Respectfully. Like, Arcwing missions are probably my least favorite type of missions, and therefore I only play them when it's required for like a quest or grinding a specific item. And thank God it's very rarely required for a specific item. I almost never have to play Arcwing missions. Love that. Like, love that. Damage to Corpus, damage to Oregon, damage to Grenier, damage to Infested melee. That's again a maybe. I don't hate that. Melee damage to Infested? I don't hate that. We'll write it down as a question mark. It's so fucking bulky, I have to switch my desk up. I mean, I'm not surprised, and I can relate. When I have... Listen, I'll probably have pictures of it somewhere. I'll have to post them either in the Discord or I'll send them to you directly sometime. When I got my first computer, I had a tiny, tiny desk from IKEA that had no shelving space. It was just flat top desk. And because it was so small, all I could fit on the desk was my computer and technically 2 monitors. But those 2 monitors were like angled in on each other. Like they weren't flat. They couldn't sit perfectly parallel. They had to sit at almost like a 90-degree angle. It looked as though I was sitting in like some like hacker corner with one monitor in one eye, one monitor on my other eye. Like in order to see both monitors, I had to truly like have my face against the screens because they were like at a 90-degree corner in order to fit on the desk. A trip to Cedar Point? I'm jealous. I wasn't invited. You know what's crazy? I haven't been to an amusement park at all this year. I think quitting my job in the amusement park industry also low-key just kind of quit my drive for amusement parks, almost like my passion. I do want to go back though. At the very least, I need to go to Knoebels this year for their 100-year anniversary. That's guaranteed. But other than that, like I don't know if I'm going to any parks. All right, we have this bow mod called Split Fights. 100+% multi-shot, but minus 180% accuracy. I don't care. That sounds terrible, actually. Primed steady hands for pistols is good. And even though I don't use pistols, that almost seems like something I should buy. Prime stabilizer for weapon recoil, also pretty good. Oh no, I'm worried we're gonna have to grind a lot of money, aren't we? Alright. Weapon recoil for shotguns. Damage to murmur, I don't care. Primed redirections